What's up, guys? We are talking the 2025 Strongest Man on Earth that goes down at the Shaw Classic August 16th and 17th. We will have a bunch of stuff happening on Friday the 15th with the Expo, arm wrestling. We got powerlifting this year. We got a grip contest, all the Expo booths. The Expo is free to the public. So if you're not planning on being there, I don't know what you're doing, but click the link below the video. Come in, support the weekend, the athletes, and let's make this truly, truly awesome. So today we're talking to Nick Guardione,
Up,
and
guys?
man, how are you feeling, brother? You ready to rock and roll?
I'm ready, man. I'm always excited to come to Colorado in August. I know it's going to be a hell of a weekend every single time. I've been there 3 years in a row now. First year just helping Austin with the Open, then competing in the Open, then podiuming the Open, and now Strongest Man on Earth. So it's been a really nice progression, and I'm excited to come back and do it again.
I absolutely am excited to have you back, man. So
Thank you, brother.
last year was really close with the Open, man. Super, super close. Talk to us about that.
Oh, yeah. So Josh Burgeon and I were fighting for the win. Really close fight. And then I ended up making a silly mistake on one of the bag carry medleys where the bag ended up kind of flipping somehow. I still don't understand how it did it because it was a Husafell bag. It landed flat and still somehow like did a wave and flipped over and it touched the tape, which cost me a penalty. So I went from winning the sandbag medley event to seventh on the sandbag medley event. And cost me the win to Josh Spurgeon, who was a good friend of mine. So, I was happy to see him win, but you know, it was the one blemish on what was potentially a perfect amateur year, because I won the Arnold Amateur, I won OSG, shot open, took second on a mistake. And yeah, that one still hurts to this day. Still
Yeah,
hurts.
I'll tell you what, any time in a contest where something just doesn't go the way that it's supposed to, and especially that it can
Yeah.
definitely sting. But I promise it has motivated you
Oh my God,
in
you have no
different
idea.
ways.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
that's
And
the
I
positive.
remember
Yeah.
I remember sitting in the back, you telling us if the bag touches that tape line, it's a 5-second penalty. I don't know how, but I knew if someone was going to get the penalty, it was going to be me. I just felt it right away.
Oh, it's well, man.
Oh.
Hopefully you didn't think it into existence, but maybe you
It
did.
might have been what happened, to
Maybe
be
you did.
honest.
So talk to us here. Obviously, you're stepping into Strongest Man on Earth. I know you wanted it bad. I know
Oh,
you're
real bad.
really excited about it. And
Yep.
what is it like? What are your emotions with getting the call up and with this contest in general? Like, how do you feel?
Yeah, so this is my first year like as a pro. I did the Arnolds, I did Worlds, I just did a Giants Live. And it's been a hell of a year, man. Like it's been definitely an eye-opening experience. Like it's totally different feel to any amateur show. The closest thing you can really get is when you do the shot open, at least that first year that I competed, you had us come out during the Stones during the pro show
Yep.
and you got the feel of the crowd and you don't really get that as an amateur. There's no crowds, there's no energy, except for the energy that you bring. But coming into the show, this was the show that probably scared the shit out of me the most, to be fair.
That's fair.
Um, it's the heaviest show, it's the show that's most foreign to me. Basically every single event I've ever trained for this show has been for speed or for reps. I've never had to do a heavy yoke like that. Never had to do a max stone. Like the heaviest stone I've ever done is 425 because that's the heaviest that I've ever had in a series, and you just try and do it real fast.
Yeah.
We'd never bench ever. So I hit 400 pounds on bench for the first time this week, which is
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's insane. Like to go through that. Like we use it as an accessory. Like I've done 385 for like 8 or 10 before,
Yeah.
just as an accessory, but we never bench heavy. Um, so this show is definitely intimidating, but there was no way I was passing up this opportunity. I don't care what it cost me. I was going to be a part of the show. I was already signed up for the Open again to get my redemption and punch my ticket for next year at the very least. But to be called up is it's an honor, man.
No,
It's an honor.
it's yeah, for sure, man. I'm really excited to hear that. And you
Thank
know,
you, brother.
if you were sitting here and saying that it didn't worry you at all, or you were like, oh, I'm perfectly fine, I feel like that would be a little suspect, a little suspect.
I'm 100% prepared. My 3 weeks of prep, I'm gonna win. It's gonna be
Yes,
easy. It's not gonna be
everything.
close.
Yeah. So with it, obviously you're jumping into a lot of different things with this one.
Yeah.
Are there events where you're more excited? Are there
Oh,
events you feel good about?
yeah. So there's a couple events that I really think are going to be fun for me personally, but also for the crowd. Obviously the battle at the top for the log press is going to be a sight to behold. I don't think there's ever been quite a log competition like this. I haven't had an opportunity to max out my log press for almost 2 years. So I'm really, really excited to see where I'm at. 400 pounds is getting thrown around like nothing in training. So I'm really excited to see where we end up with a crowd and a little bit of a peak behind me. So I'm hoping for like a 200 kilo mark, maybe a little bit more, maybe 205. We'll see. I
Awesome.
really have absolutely no idea. With most of these events, I have no clue what I'm capable of, just because for every single show I've ever done, it's been for reps, it's been for speed,
Yeah.
but I'm really excited for the opportunity to find out, like a lot of these times, like in the Arnold Amateur, I never really got to squat heavy. We had basically a squat for reps, and those opportunities are what help you learn those events and get stronger in the movements that you need to. So I have no choice. I got to figure it out, and I love that. But I think what people are talking about the log press as an exciting event. They don't understand how exciting that the keg toss is going to be. I think people are underestimating how awesome the keg toss is going to be. We've got 5 of the best keg throwers in the world. I got myself, Maxime Boudreau, Shane Flowers, Wes Derwinski. Who am I missing?
Tom Stoltman.
Tom Stoltman.
Yep.
Yeah, Bryce Johnson's great.
Yep.
Like it's gonna be a crazy battle. Um, and I think it's gonna come down to tiny, tiny margins, lucky rotations on the keg. Like that's gonna be a crazy event. One that I think I can do really well on. Um, Bags for speed, and keg doesn't really transfer over, but I think that you can pretty much guarantee those 5 guys being the top 5. I think that's going
It's
to be a really exciting event.
and I would say, and again, I don't know for sure, but I would say that almost there's a high likelihood that none of those 5 have done a max weight
No,
keg toss.
no,
Right? It's been
no.
and it's been done with bags, right?
Yeah,
Where you throw
yeah,
it back, but throwing a bag is very different than throwing a keg,
yep,
especially for a max weight. So
yep,
it's one of those things where even for me, and I've said this a few different times. I've only got to do it one. I only did it one time in my whole
yeah,
career, whereas for max weight keg toss. So I think that the power transfer that we can see from you guys on those kegs, the heavier kegs, and again, you're probably spot on. I mean, it's going to be, how do you release it? How does it fly? The rotation of the keg. How does that end up? And
yep,
5 pounds more. With a 5 pound jump, just hitting that next jump could be huge.
yeah.
Depending on where the weight is and who gets stacked up where, and I think that we were filling up the kegs, and what we did end up doing is we filled them up to 90. So we have every weight is two at each weight. And I said, well, we'll bring some lead shot, to bump them up. If we have multiple, anybody that gets to 90, we're just going to pull it out in front of the crowd and say, hey, we'll just add to it, and
We're gonna get close. We're
yeah,
gonna
I
get close.
think I think so. It's one of those things where I thought that would be kind of fun. Like, we had extra
Yeah,
kegs to fill up, and I was like, I think it'd be neat for the crowd to see the weight being added if we get to that mark, and then
yeah.
it's
Make
it's
it
like
part of the spectacle for
it
sure.
makes it
Yeah,
it makes it like, all right, we are making these heavier, and it builds that hype, right? So then it's,
hmm,
can 95 go? Can 100 go? Right? Like, I
yep,
think that would be a lot of fun. So we
yeah,
were filling them up, and I was like, what, let's just do that. Let's just leave
yeah.
it.
Make it part of the tension building. I like that a lot.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
but I think you're right, man. I think that, with some of these events, you start talking a lot about the log, for example, or something, and other events are just kind of like, all right, well, that's there. the pressure that's going to be on that keg toss, like go, and then the thing is too, it's going to set everybody up for the stones, right?
Yeah.
So, doing better in the keg toss, you go later in the stones, which you get to see what's done, how, where you need to attack that event. How do you feel about the stones? Speaking of that,
I mean, so day
I know
one
you said
back into
four,
training,
yeah, you haven't gone, you haven't really had a reason to go, have
I've never maxed out my stone ever because it's always been a series for speed. Um, so I mean, day one back, I'm hitting PRs, single PRs that I've hit in the past, which have been like grimy, nasty, slow PRs, easy doubles. We're feeling good. The technique is dialed in. Um, but one last point on the sandbag toss is the body types that are going to win the sandbag toss, or sorry, the body types that are going to be winning and contention for the top spots in the log press are not going to do very well in the sandbag toss. It's like opposite body types. So it basically the first two events are going to basically completely switch the scoreboard up. So it's going to be a scrambled mess going into the stones. Um, so it's who can be the most consistent between those first two events to get that advantage on the stones. And it's a huge advantage on the stones because there's four options depending on if you make mistakes or or what stone you pick first. I mean, it's a that event in particular you want to be going as late as possible. So for a guy like myself trying to get that one or two extra spot on the log press with that 2 pound jump, 2.5 pound jump, and then placing well in the sandbag toss or the keg toss is going to be extremely important to get that advantage on the stones. Um,
do you like
because
the medley as well? So on day one, we'll have the frame and arm over arm. How do you feel
yeah,
about that?
I think I can get top three there.
Beautiful. Well, that
Yeah,
would, I mean, that would set you up well. And with keg toss, if you can get into that mix in the top
yeah,
five, then you do go later on the stones. Do you
yeah.
think? Do you think with the stones, will you walk out and just get one on the board, or do you think you'll shoot, or you just are it still up in the air a little bit?
So that's the thing. We'll find out this week. I've never hit a 450 stone. I
Did
know.
you not? Did
I've
you
never hit
finish
a
the
450.
run? Did you finish the run though? Right in the open? No.
Nope.
So you
I was
did
the
the
fastest to
125.
four.
Okay.
I
Okay.
hadn't figured out my tacky setup yet. I now have like sleeves, elbow sleeves taped on, everything. Like I figured it out now. I
Okay.
sweat like my Italian jeans. I sweat right where the tacky needs to sit, and
Yep.
it was never a consistent thing. I tried tape. I tried all kinds of stuff, but tacky because in Texas it's really hot. We train outside in a shipping container,
Yep.
um, so that setup is different than in an air conditioned arena.
Big time.
So it's I mean like there's different things that you can do to mitigate that. Um, so I hadn't figured out that situation yet. I don't think it was a strength thing. I just literally couldn't hold on to the stone because my tacky was gone. And then I would run out of time like reapplying tacky and trying a million times. But we've got that pretty much sorted now. Even though I had a completely unrelated stone fiasco at Giants Live a couple weeks ago, where my shirt just like tore on the first stone,
Oh,
and it
what?
made
Uh,
yeah. So we had cut the sleeves off, and we went up to the super high platform for the first stone at the Giants Live medley,
yeah.
and my whole shirt went with it and tore from the cut that we had made on the elbow sleeves.
Oh
And
no.
so it was just like a stringer. And then when I went to the 440 at the very end, it just kept tearing down. I couldn't get it to actually plant on my
A
on
plus.
my gut to lift. And because the shirt just kept moving and tearing more. And I ran out of time. And I took dead last on the stones. I was in contention for the podium the entire show.
See, that's
And
what,
then my
and
stones, another stone debacle. But
yeah, people don't realize with like that contest, for example, there's so many close times and scores that
yeah,
one little mishap changes you so much.
yeah,
It can, and that's where, again, that's the format you're dealing with it. So everybody's in the same boat. But I
yeah,
think, you know, walking in, for example, with the stones, you'll be able to take your time, and it's just about strength, right?
yeah,
So, whether it's 450 and you hit that and then you maybe feel good there, go for reps, or it's like, oh, hey, 500, let's do that. Like, I mean, and again, it's the fascinating part, I think, that people, fans need to understand is there's a lot of strategy with this,
yeah,
right? And that next lift, maybe it's worth attempting that, right? Like maybe it's like, hey, like instead of doing 3 or 4 reps at the 450, I can hit the 500 for one and I get more points.
Yep.
This is where you get, as a competitor, you get put in that seat and you're like, all right, my back's against the wall. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
And then you have to make that choice. And in those moments, there's a lot of pressure on certain lifts. And again, if you're stronger, you can put that on display. And
Yeah.
that's really the whole point of a lot of the way a lot of these things are designed is like, if you're stronger, you're going to get rewarded.
Yeah.
Right. So but it also comes with a level of pressure that you have to perform. So
Yeah.
it's going to be fascinating, man.
I feel like, especially for me, I feel like this whole show is either like, step up, time to find out, time to, step up to the plate. It just is what it is. You just
Yeah,
have to.
and you can. I'm sure you're learning with yourself. You can tap into that different spot. Where it's actually a big advantage to having somebody like Austin where you guys are battling in
Yeah.
training too,
Yeah.
right? So it's
Yeah.
it's like when you are in a training group and you're comfortable, and let's just say, and this is tough for a lot of strongmen that are training. There's a lot of guys that want to be the big fish, so to speak, in their group, right? They don't
Yeah.
want anybody challenging them, and they're the strongest, and that's what it is, and whatever. It's something special will happen when you have a group and you have other guys with you that are super strong, where you can't take a day off, right? Like you can't
Yeah.
walk in and be like, all right, well,
No.
I'm gonna just relax because I'm the strongest and I'm comfortable. No, no, no. You're never comfortable, right? So it's like every
Yeah.
time you walk into training, maybe you're going to bring the energy, maybe Austin does, or whoever else is there is bringing energy, but you don't get to relax, right?
No,
So
never.
your
And
level, your level.
we're Austin and I's story is pretty, to me, it's pretty special in itself. Like when I walked in the gym, I was 230 pounds, 240 pounds. Like I was skinny. I had no competition experience, no strongman experience. I didn't even know what it was. I just watched like some videos on YouTube, and he was the very first person I met and got me into the sport. I mean, now we're competing on every single front. Like how much food can we get in? How much sleep? Can we warm up better, more efficiently? Like, and we're including each other in this, like we're trying to make each other better. But like he's the opposite of the athlete that I am. I'm very dynamic, very fast, good cardio, very explosive. He's the complete opposite. He's a big squatter. If something's moving, he'll just stay moving, doesn't matter how heavy it goes. Like just like we're complete opposites, but I feel like that's beneficial for both of us. Like he gets to teach me the things that I suck at, and I get to teach him the things that he sucks at. Like I can fix his frame carry, or you know, I don't know, it just inspire him to be faster, and he can inspire me to be stronger. It's a great dynamic. It's worked out fantastic. I love competing with the dude. He's my best friend in the world. And I really don't think that it's in the next few years. I really don't think that it's going to be a strongman show without the Texas boys there.
That's fun, man. It's fun
Yeah.
to have that, and I think being able to push each other in that capacity. There's not very many guys that get to train in a group where you have high
Yeah.
level individuals and you're pushing. And it's not to say that it's 100% necessary, but it's also a big benefit, and it's something that you guys can play off of each other, exactly like you just said.
Yeah.
Exactly like you
Yeah.
just said.
I would not be in the position that I am today without having him to keep me accountable. Like I I'm definitely one of those guys that if I have the opportunity to slack off, I will.
Mm,
Um, and that's what I love about strongman the most. Like I hold myself accountable with my sleep, with my food. Like I don't let myself slack because I want to win,
yes.
and it gives me something to fight for, and I love it. And I don't want to let my team down. I don't want to let my family down, and you know, and another thing that's interesting about training with Austin too, especially as we were coming up, he was always a few years ahead of me. He had already been competing for a year or two before I even got into the gym. So, I would be super excited about this, 230 pound, 250 pound log press PR. and then he'd be over there, repping it for 6 or 8. So,
Yeah.
this, training strongman, I've never really had an ego about it. I've always just understood that there are strong people in the world. And if I want to get stronger, I got to just keep my head down and keep working. And, no matter what happens as strongest man on earth, that's what I'm going to continue to do. I'm just going to go back, learn my lessons, work harder, come back next year stronger, keep growing and doing my best.
That's a great attitude, man. Great attitude. So are there events that you're concerned about? Like, are there any that are like, oh my God, that's going to be a lot?
Yeah, the bench press for sure. The keg, the standing chest press. Like I said, we never bench press. We use it as an accessory. We never go heavy. Um, I hit 400 pounds for the first time. I hit it for an easy double, but I hit 400 pounds for the first time this week, and it kind of tweaked my shoulder a little bit. So we're probably not going to touch it too much more, so I can focus on the log press, which I think I can score some points in. Um, so, I mean, we'll see. I feel like I have a responsibility to go out and give 100% effort, every single event of every show. I understand what it takes to get to this a show of this caliber. I understand that I'm taking other athletes' spot. I'm taking, the crowd's time. I'm taking, people paid for the live stream, people pay for tickets. I have a deep responsibility that I feel like I can't just go out there and slack. So, I'm gonna give 100% effort no matter what. But I think the chest press is going to be a rough one for me. I do not see myself doing
That's
too well on that one.
that's fair. I would just clarify one thing, right? You're saying you're taking somebody else's spot. You earned the spot,
Yeah,
right? So like, yes, you're taking it from somebody else, but that is how it works in sports, right? Like
yeah, yeah,
if you're on a team sport, somebody's going to play and somebody's going to be on the bench, right?
yeah,
Same thing in strongman. There's only so many spots at the table, and if you keep stepping up and earning that spot, then yes, did take it from somebody else, but you also earned it,
yeah,
right? So think
yeah,
of it that way, right? Like, yeah, you know, for you, absolutely, you have that, and you can use the word responsibility, whatever. Like, it's just within you. Go out and do your maximum, like put on a show, and
yeah,
you're there. But also, like, you're in this kind of fun spot because you're coming in, you get to shake some things up, and again, you said it perfectly. It's like you come into the contest and you can learn, you get feedback, you see where you're at, you kind of jump in the deep water and you figure out where you can swim and where you can't, right? Like, and
yeah,
I think that's a really, really good thing for your growth as a competitor. I think that can be a very, very beneficial thing, right? So,
yeah,
you come in and, of course, I know you're going to put pressure on yourself, and I know that you're going to expect certain things, and that's natural, certainly natural thing to do as a competitor. But you come in and it's like, hey, also try your best to enjoy it, right? Like, enjoy the moment, enjoy the crowd, and say, hey,
yeah,
what, I'm going to take this energy and I'm going to use it, and have a good time with it, because strongman should be fun, right? Like, it should be
yeah,
something that's enjoyable, and yes, it's super serious, and you're using it as a tool to push yourself, which is awesome, right? And you get the stage, but you earned it, man. Like, I think of that too, right? Like,
yeah,
that's what I would say is, like, come in and have fun with it, brother, because it's going to be good.
yeah. I mean, it's always fun. And especially this last Giants Live where we had this big crowd at the Royal Albert Hall and the energy was just electric. Like I know that's what's going to happen at Strongest Man on Earth. It's always electric. The crowd is incredible in the Blue Arena, and I really draw from that. And I was standing up on stage in the Royal Albert Hall, and you can't help but just feel blessed. You know what I mean? Like, you have all these people's attention. You're one of the strongest people in the world. Um, and that could be taken away at any moment with an injury, with some crazy accident. You gotta be appreciative of the moment. I always am, and it could be gone before you know it. So, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna give it everything I got. And if this is my last show, then it is, and I'm gonna love every second of it, man.
Well, I don't think it'll be your last one, man.
I hope not, dude.
Let's hope not. Yeah.
The scariest part for me, is going out, zeroing the chest press, and you being like, "Yeah, man, that dude sucks at bench press. I'm never inviting him back to SMOE ever."
It's
I'm like,
it's just a different.
no, I gotta get at least one.
Well, don't have that. Don't have that nightmare thinking about that, man. Well, look, Nick, I appreciate your time, brother, and
Yes, sir.
I think it's going to be fun for a lot of people to hear this, and I think you've got a really good mindset coming in, and good attitude, and part of this too is introducing people to the athletes and what they're about and whatever. And I guarantee from this, there's going to be some people that are going to like cheer a little bit more,
Nice.
which is awesome. So
I love it, man. I love the volume of the crowd. It's everything to me. I love it.
Being in that arena, I try to tell people, all the time, it's wild. Like, it's so much fun. And I mean, I just did a book signing event last week, and there were so many people that showed up. They were like they lost their voice, and they're so pumped. And
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
people come, and the fans really, really get into it. But being in the room, as a fan, it's like such a special experience, right? Like,
Words don't even put it into words don't do it justice. Like, especially in America, there are no arena events like this. They don't exist. Like, if you want to get that like, you can't even describe it. It's just pure electric energy. If you guys are in the United States and you want to experience a strongman arena show, you need to come to Strongest Man on Earth. There's just nothing like it in the States. It's worth it. It's worth every penny.
It's gonna be a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. So I hope the rest of the prep goes well, man.
Thank you, brother.
Come in rested, well fed, and ready mentally to do it, man. It's coming.
I will.
It's coming quick. So
yes, sir.
Awesome, guys. Well, give Nick some love in the comments. Again, link below the video if you want any information on coming, being there in person. The live stream, anything around the contest. Really appreciate all the support, and hope you guys are doing amazing for now. Going to be great. We'll check you guys later.
Thank you, guys.